What's up, y'all? I'm PC McCray. You can call me P.
Hey y'all, my name is Shonda Head. You can call me Shonda Head. And this is the Everything Has Changed podcast.
From 2 college roommates to 40-something adults, life has been lifing and we want to talk about it.
We are the new adults, y'all.
How did that happen?
I don't know, P, but we got to talk about it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Hi, Shonda.
Hey, B. What's up?
What's up?
How are we today? Oh, I'm getting the face, you guys. She's giving me the face.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm still in recovery.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in recovery.
We're recording this like immediately after Mother's Day, guys. So, is that what you're referring to, P?
Correct. Happy Mother's Day to the wonderful mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to you, friend.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yep. This one kicked my ass. Yeah.
What number is this one? What
Number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
And what got me is, and I felt it the weekend before. I was like, ooh, I'm just getting a little weepy, getting really weepy here. And I had a plan. So last year, I think I was so focused on all of the firsts, getting through, like I was like laser, okay, these are coming up. This is how you're going to handle it. This is what you're going to do. You're going to let your feelings flow. You're going to whatever.
Yeah.
And I went to the beach last year. I wanted to do the same thing this year, but the weather was awful and taking care of my dad, and I just could not do that. And so I had to just sit in it. Like I couldn't even go out for a walk because it was raining. The weather was just terrible. And and even Monday, even today, it's still raining, it's still gloomy. But, and I want to thank my village. I want to thank you and my village who reached out to me and sent texts or calls. I couldn't take any calls, but just saying, hey, I'm thinking of you. It's a tough day. And it helped and I'm grateful for it. But each one tripped me over again.
Trigger.
Yeah. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. But no.
Yeah.
Because I went to see her. I went to visit Mom Saturday. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to go on actual Sunday. I'm going to go Saturday. And in my effort to try to do something different and try to acknowledge it, all of her friends and the mother figures in my life, I called them. I think I started making calls like Friday and just talking to them. Just wanted to talk to them and check on them. And even one of her friends, she had a birthday party on Saturday. She turned 80 and she looks amazing. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, girl.
She don't look it. I was like, yes, ma'am. And she invited me to her birthday dinner and I went to that. And so I felt like, okay, I'm spending time. I'm checking in with her girls and the women who were like mother figures to me. That should help, right? That should help.
No, that doesn't
help.
No. Sorry to say.
No, it didn't.
I've done the same. Help. It doesn't help.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked. Not that, because there's never the time thing. It doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. But it did take me by surprise because I don't even know. But I do know I just really focused on the firsts. And last year, it was bad, but I kept myself distracted enough. And this year, I wasn't.
You had a plan last year,
I had
and
a
the plan
plan.
worked
It
last year
worked. I was able
as
to
best it
execute
could.
that plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year, that plan could not be executed, and I did not have a backup plan for that plan. And
You ain't gonna always
so
have a plan. God ain't gonna always let you sit on your plan.
Whoo-wee.
God said, we need to
He
address something. Can't get around this.
Whoa. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So it's still dragging. It's still lagging for me.
Did
I'm still
you,
weepy.
were you home the whole day? Like, did you just stay to yourself, or on the day,
Yep.
did you get out or anything?
No, stay to
Yeah.
myself. Try to take care of my dad, and then just curled up under
Yeah.
the covers. Tried to watch shows, tried to laugh, tried to giggle, but it's still just
It's really hard to giggle when it's hard to giggle. Did you try to watch you some white boy shoot 'em ups? Did you try to watch some people
I
kill each other? That
did. The
did it
mobs.
the mo how did that go? Did you get any escapism out of that?
Some of it, yeah. Because I
Okay.
was like, "Ooh, that he need to shoot him. He needs to shoot him now."
Now,
He needs
it's
to
hard to
shoot
watch
him.
because people will be like, "Oh, you need to laugh, you need to do," and it's like, you'll be sitting there watching stuff or even listening to people laugh, like, "What are you laughing at? Ain't nothing funny." Like, and it is, of course, it is funny, but it's like, for me at least, that kinda stuff is not helpful for me because then I'm irritated and pissed off that y'all laughing, and I'm like, "I'm not in the mood." I'd rather see, you know, somebody get what's coming to them.
Yeah. Get the rat. There's a rat in the family. Shoot him.
Shoot 'em. Well, did your dad know it was Mother's Day? Did you tell him?
Yes. Yes and no. He knew. Um, because I was able to take him to church, and
Okay.
the deacons, first of all, like, our village is amazing. Our church family had him. They
Mhm.
helped me out. So I got him there. I guess that was my outing to get him to church, make sure the deacons and the church family had him, and I knew they had him the rest of the day. So, because they knew I just needed time.
Oh, so you didn't go to service. You just dropped him off.
Yeah, no, because the whole service is gonna be about
Yes.
Mother's Day and mother
Does
I
your
know I know the family church, and I know what they do.
does your church do the thing on Mother's Day where it's like you wear the rose? So if your mom has
Mhm.
passed, you wear the white rose,
Yeah.
and if your mom is living, you wear like the pink rose.
And they give
Yeah.
her the rose, and I was like, "I don't want none of that, none of that, none of that.
Yeah.
I don't want it. Mm-mm, don't want it." I listened to a few of the pastors that I listened to,
Mhm.
and some of them I wanted more and more, and maybe because now I'm more sensitive to it, they acknowledge the people who don't have a mother anymore.
Yeah.
Has it always been that way, or over the years have we, as a society, have we become more observant of that? Because even the emails, being able to opt out of companies allowing you to opt out of the
Yes.
Mother's Day emails, that wasn't a thing.
No, that wasn't a thing, and now even text mess even when if you're on company's text, well, I
Mhm.
actually only had one company to do it, which was shout out to Mia Ray. I was telling you about her the other week. She
Mhm.
has the purse companies out of Detroit, and so she sent out a text. She's the only one I got it from this year that said, if you want to opt out of Mother's Day promotions and stuff from us, send us this word and we'll take you out of just these promote. And I'm like, excellent, thank you. I don't think it was a thing, but here's why. Well, on the one hand, I do have to say, the older I get, the more I'm realizing a lot of stuff was just going over my head as a kid, or even as a teenager or college student. It's like stuff you should be caring about or will care about as an adult. I ain't care
Yeah.
one thing about, so I ain't pay attention. Clearly, I was one of those kind. But I do also think we are in a generation where, a lot of stuff is coming out about what could be harmful to people
Mhm.
or triggering, really, is something I think that our generation, like millennials, kind of started kicking that can down the road. Like, hey, these things happen in generations before us. We're not okay with them anymore. Or, we think, there's a better way to do things. So of course, the older people and the boomers and stuff, like, they always trying to change stuff or whatever. But what
Mhm.
comes out of that is stuff like quote unquote politically correctness and, acknowledging people's triggers. Or, I'm into books heavy now. All the books got trigger warnings in the front.
Mm.
I skip right over that though, because it's like I really
Okay.
don't want to be spoiled.
Okay.
Okay. I
Well.
don't want to be spoiled. So, and sometimes it'd be like trigger warnings for like this person likes sugar in their grits instead of salt, whatever. But
Oh.
sometimes it really is big stuff. So, but anyway, that kind of thing I think is more of a generational thing, honestly. And
Mhm.
I think that that's kind of where it's coming from. And so then people are being a bit more open, a bit more transparent, or at least a bit more not even compassionate, but it's the acknowledgement is what it is. And I kind of think that's something that we're geriatric millennials. We're other millennials.
Wow.
So but I think millennials kind of spearheaded that. So I think that's
Geriatric.
what that is. Yeah. Geriatric. Deal with it.
Ugh.
We're here. We've been here.
I had to sit in that for a minute. Yeah, it was really, really hard.
Yeah. I had a feeling it was hard for you, but also that's not even a stretch because it's like almost anybody. I don't know. It was hard for me, but it's always hard for me. But
Mhm.
then when you become a mom, you be like, oh, it'll not be as hard because
Yeah.
you focus. No, it's still for me.
It's still.
It's
That's what I was gonna
it's still.
ask. How is it? Because that would be my thought. Like, oh, I have this kid to distract me, and I can give them the love that I'm missing. And you're like, no, still. Mm-mm.
It's not about the love you're missing. It's about um, your parents are like your foundation to the earth, right?
Mhm.
In particular, your mom. But take two to tango. Okay. So when the foundation is gone, there really is a difference. And I know that you think about your relationship. Maybe you had a close relationship with your mom, maybe you didn't. So that might change some things. But it's interesting because I've had conversations with people who've had tense and contentious relationships with their moms. And when their moms have passed, it hit them like a brick because there's a different dynamic to it. And so now it's like, oh,
Mhm.
we didn't get a chance to mend, or oh, I've gotten older now. I see where she was. All these different layers. So it's almost like it doesn't matter what your relationship was. When that happens, it's a shock to your system, and it takes a very long time to get back acclimated, like to get back grounded. And then
Mhm.
as it happens, life will come back in and knock you off your square again, and now you got to reacclimate. Even when it gets easier, I just have a feel like what year is this? I'm like 12 years in. There's a ebb and a everything is ebb and a flow. So
Mhm.
you'll be good and then you'll get knocked off your square again. And it's like it doesn't end is what I'm trying to say. It's it's going to be okay, and then it might just not be okay. And I hope that people don't think that that means, oh, I'm not handling it right or anything. That's literally the part of the process. It's like death is not the ending for them. You and I both know that. But then over here on this side of things, it's also not, um, it's not, oh, I'm healed from that. We're done. We're good. Nah, it's not. You'll be good. And then it could be 20 years later and something will happen. And that's real. That's real life. And that's what it is. When people die, the ones who are left here, we continue to stay on that ride. And that ride is going to go up and it's going to go down. It's going to go. I literally, when I was leaving the kinder, I'm 12 years in, okay? I used to call mommy every single lunch break. We would talk and text several times a day, regardless. But when I was at work, lunch break, I'm calling, I'm checking in, what you got going on? So after she died and I started back working, I'm sitting in my car like, oh, well, who am I call? So I started,
Right.
sometimes I call my godmother or whatever. But then after a while, it's like, they can't also take that on either. Like, you know what I mean? So all that to say, I'm leaving a Kendrick concert whenever that was, what, a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Whoo, I got to tell mommy how good this was. This was, oh, she will love how, cause live music." And I'm literally walking out of the arena with my friend, and I'm thinking, "Oh, I got to call mom, and I was like, "Oh shit, no, no, you can't do that." And
You're
it
like, "Oh,
it
no."
it shook me because I'm like, why are we still doing this after 12 years, Sean? Like, why are we still going there? And like, I literally, was about to reach it for my phone, about to send a text,
Mhm.
and I remembered. And people think that it doesn't stop. Now, it's been a long time since I've done that. I think maybe a couple times last year I had that thought. And so maybe each year it's like less of a thought. But the thought will still come to you years down the line. And then you have to be like, oh, right, never mind. People think that's just something that's going in. The house that I was living in, mommy was living here and died, and then granny was living here and died.
Yeah.
And they was in the same room. I let granny have mommy's room when she came to live with us because I couldn't. I was like, I ain't gonna be in there, so you have at it, right? But I mean, that's how I felt. And it's the best room. It's the master. Come on, you got your own bathroom. Come on, girl. So,
Right.
but oh my God, granny died in 2021. Uh, it was a couple years. The f- the first few months after she died, I kept walking to her room at the end of the night to make sure she was good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I would walk all the way down the hallway, open the door, and then I'm like, oh wait, I forgot. And it was 2 years before that stopped happening. Now originally it was like every day, so it wasn't every day for 2 years. But yeah, it's not easy, and I think that people just think sometimes people just say stuff, and it's like, cause like, oh, the parent is supposed to go before the child, that kind of thing. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is what's supposed to happen. This is a natural cycle of life, and this is what. All right, guys. Like,
Yeah. And it's still hard though, which yes, absolutely. And I know for a fact she wants me to live, and she would, if when I was sick, oh my God, that was like that
yes,
just broke her heart. But so I know for sure she would have given her life for me to still be here. Yeah.
it's a really tough thing, and I don't think that it gets talked about enough, except for when Mother's Day and Father's Day happens. I don't
It's
think
like,
people give adults the
yeah, it's like I'm back at square one again. I'm like, what is going on?
yes,
That first
yeah.
year, I literally cried every single day. And I got to a point where I wasn't crying every day. Something would happen and I'd be like, man. And like a tear would fall, or my eyes would well up. So, but it wasn't like a cry every day. Now, right back to it every day. And it started the week before, because I'm like, okay. Mother's Day is coming. And what's crazy, I actually talked to someone whose mom had recently passed, and this was gonna be her first Mother's Day, and here I am
Mm.
trying to talk them through it and said, "Okay, this is what I'm going through, and this is the grief process, and no matter all these things." We had a wonderful conversation, and I maybe that unlocked something again, because she said, "I don't know why I'm so weepy," and this was, like, 2 weeks before. I was like, on a cellular level, even if you aren't paying attention, they've already started putting out Mother's Day cards, and
Yep.
commercials have been coming through. Even if you're not watching that, like, you're watching the basketball game, and here comes a commercial
Yep.
about mothers, so all of that is in your subconscious, and it's just building and building and building. And then, yeah, I'm right back at day 1. Yeah, okay. Alright.
But I just want you to give yourself some grace though, P, because I understand when you are feeling weepy, it feels horrible. So there's that. But it's nothing wrong with like I guess I wouldn't personally think of it as going back to day one because how do you expect you and your body to handle that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, that's that's not gonna be, real. I'm not saying I want you to feel a certain way. I'm saying that that doesn't mean anything that you do. It doesn't mean you've regressed on your healing or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's what it feels like, though. Like I've regressed in this process, and it's just another wave that's gonna continue to come no matter what. And you sent me that in the message. You were like, "Feel all the feels that you need to feel," and I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling them.
Yeah.
They're be they're being felt.
Because people
Thanks."
often it seems like thanks. I'm so I just felt
No.
like I cause it's like people it just seems like people feel like I need to not feel away or I need to not feel bad or whatever. And that is just not what's even gonna help you in your body. Your body needs you to release it. Hey friends, we're so thankful for your support. If you want to be updated whenever we drop a new episode or when we drop some of the special things we've got coming, head on over to everythinghaschangedpodcast.com and drop us your email so you can stay locked in. Cool? Cool. Your
Yeah.
body needs it to come out. Now, granted, it don't got to be in front of everybody, and you don't go like. So I like you won't really find me like I wasn't gonna be in nobody's group setting on
Mm-mm.
Sunday. Okay, I
Mm-mm.
was tucked out the way at the house. Okay, but so wherever it needs to happen, but your body needs you to release it,
Yeah.
and it's almost like one of those things where don't fight the release, because it's going to continue. It's so if I'm saying you right here, right now,
Yeah.
I'm 12 years in. I all last week I was crying up until, but I'm a crier. I will say that. I don't have look. I'm looking around the room like I gotta explain myself to somebody. I'm a crier. I don't mind crying. I'm
Yeah.
not saying I want to do it all in your face, but I cry a lot, and I just had to get okay with that. 12 years in and I'm saying that still happens to me. So if you are aware it's going to come, it's going to ebb and flow, it's going to be waves like you said, then when it comes, don't beat yourself up about it at all. You're allowed to feel and this is what they say now again. What the therapists and what the people say, it like I'm not one, I can just tell you what they say, is that sometimes you do have to sit in your feelings and you do have to allow them to like crash out. You got to crash out sometimes. See?
Yeah. It was a crash out.
It has to
It
come
was a
out of you.
it was a crash out for sure.
I will say when I find myself being weepy, like I was weepy last week, but then I'm like, did I take my antidepressant?
Did I take my
Did
medicine?
I?
Uh-oh.
So
Wait a minute.
this year I've been like crashing out, and then I look up, and it's like, I missed my pill for, like, the past 2, 3 days. Like,
Okay.
"Oh, no." I'm like, "Y'all got it easy. Y'all lucked up, cause I ain't had my anti in 3 days. It could it could have been a
I need
problem."
you to take your medicine. Go ahead
It
and take
wasn't
that
on
medicine.
it wasn't on purpose, T. It was I my dosage is actually we were toying around with raising my dosage at one point, and then, the doctor told me that, it skips from, like, 5, 10, 25 to 50 to 100 and all these
Oh,
things, those kinds of things. And so she had ordered me the higher dose, which I picked up, but then I was like, "No, we really don't need that. Go back, talk to the lady. Okay, talk
mhm,
to your
mhm.
therapist, and we gonna
Talk to
keep
the
you at the
lady.
same right." And so I kept those though, but that means that when I go and take my medicine, I gotta break it. And sometimes I just be too lazy to break it. And next thing you know, it's 3, 4 days.
Okay. All right.
I noticed that about me this year, and I was like, I gotta tell her, hey, cancel these out, because we just thought we
Let's
were
go back.
saving. You know how you like yeah, if I got them, so I might as well use them. I just cut them up. No, it's been causing me to miss some, and then
Mm-mm.
I'm watching commercials and I'm crying. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh girl, you ain't. I look at my medicine app. I'm like 3, 4 days.
Girl. You're like, "Oh, that's why." Hmm.
That's why. And
On top of everything
on
else.
top of everything else, but I tell you what, I started antidepressants for real in 2021, which now we know it was at the time when Granny was transitioning. We didn't know at the time. It was just like everything was so hard and all these things like Granny was dying. My daughter got kicked out of daycare. They say something might be wrong with it. I'm trying to get her on people's wait lists to get tested, and wait lists
Yeah.
was 6 months, all these kinds of things. And my therapist, I was like, "I think it's time, girl." And then, and so I got on antidepressants for real. I had been on them before for like 2 weeks, like some years earlier, and that's one of those times I found out I was pregnant. And I was
Mm.
like, let me get off. Let me get
Yeah.
off, because they say if you pregnant and you get because the baby will have withdrawal if you don't. So I was only on it for like 2 weeks. So I went ahead, and even after 2 weeks, you gotta wean yourself off too. Like you can't just stop cold turkey. You gotta, wean yourself off. So I did that. But then of course, trigger warning. We talked about this in an early episode, but that baby did not end up coming to fruition. Okay.
Yeah.
And so ever since then I hadn't. So in 2021 in the fall, I got on the antidepressant. I said, I can't believe y'all was letting me walk around like that out here. Like,
I'm
oh
just
my
walking around
God.
here
I'm just
all
walking around here, it looked
willy-nilly.
like an open wound. Open wound for real. Like everything was
Yeah.
raw. And that's how I feel when I forget my med. And then I'm like, I can't believe I was walking around here that long like that. Cause when I forget, like I'm literally all day. It's one thing to cry every day or cry. I am driving crying. And I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
The weepiness P is not it's here to stay. And I say it's not every day. It ain't gonna be every day as time goes on. But I don't want you to feel away or like you've regressed when you need to get it out. Especially
Yeah.
around Mother's Day. Like you getting hit over the head from every angle about this. Like you do not, this is not something that you have to even achieve. You know what I mean?
Mhm. No, I let it out. I did not hold back, or I'm not ashamed of feeling the way of course, it just is. It just sucks. It
Yes.
just sucks, and it hurts, and it's painful. And it's like, "Really? You really just sit there and like, really?
Yes, Jay.
You're not here?
Yeah.
That don't make sense. Like, what in the world?" Like, "Lord, help me.
Help
Help
me.
me." I talk to her. I write in a journal and do all the things, but it's like, "You're not here." There's, it's like the umbilical cord,
Mm.
they detach, they take it off and cut it off when you're born. But even if that's not your blood baby, there's a heartstrings that
Mhm.
you're connected, you're tethered. And when she's gone, you're untethered. And I'm just out
That's
here
exactly what
floating.
Melissa Ford said.
Because that's what it is. Think of the Macy's parade. You know the blimps,
Yes. Yes.
and sometimes those blimps, if somebody not holding it tight enough and it just goes flying and it bounces into the walls, and that's what fly away. That's it. I'm just a Macy's Day Parade, just floating in the air,
Yeah.
bouncing, float, just bouncing off
Bouncy
the
house.
buildings, in up and down, higher and lower, and deflated, and just that's exactly what it is.
This is what my leak posted on Threads 2 days ago. My leak Teal, who's a life coach and she used to be the founder of Curlbox. I think they closed down just like last year, but she's really big online and just a great person to follow. And she says, there's something about mothers that feels immortal, like they'll always be here. Maybe that's why losing them feels so unreal, almost like a broken promise. And Myleik lost her mom last year. So she has been like outwardly living or showing or attempting to show when she feels up to it what it looks like to grieve. And actually, from what I recall, just from following her, I think they had times in the past where their relationship could have gotten kind of rocky. But
Mhm.
since she passed, she's been um really finding ways to kind of look at all those different parts of their relationship and how it built up over time. And then, when I recall when her mom did pass, they were close, and so she was really able to, again, when she felt up to it, but when she in fact, she didn't even tell people, she didn't announce it
Mm.
till much later. Of course, her friends knew, but online, we didn't know anything. And then she finally said, my mom passed X amount of months ago or whatever, and I've been dealing with this or whatever. But she has done really well with showing people kind of what that looks like. And I know one time you were telling me about Anderson Cooper's podcast that he
Mhm.
where
Mhm.
and she was the first person I saw to post about that. So I know she watches that, and there's some grief books that she has recommended as well. But I want to also I do think we can play this on the podcast. I think it's like music and stuff we can't play, but I think we can play clips. So I want to play this. This is Melissa Ford, who used to be a video vixen. She's now on the Joe Budden podcast, but she was on Angie Martinez's podcast last year
Mhm.
talking about her mom's death. And she put this up on Sunday.
You've lost your tether to the earth and you are just flying around and you're hoping somebody grabs the string and pulls you down. But that is like, that it doesn't happen. The grounding that happens takes years. It takes years. Years. I'm at year three. Just about, not even fully.
And then
Yeah.
it's apparently Mother's Day was created by a woman who was mourning her mother in
Mhm.
1908. I said I did not know that. It wasn't created as like a celebration, but it was a celebration for her mom who had passed.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. I had no idea about that. But that's immediately what I thought of when you said that.
Ooh,
Everybody feels a
that's it.
similar, yeah.
You're just out here and you thinking, "Oh, I have 2 parents and I have a father," and he's an amazing guy. He's an amazing father, and he's always been the one that I can run to and cry in his arms, like, daddy's girl. I haven't been able to do that.
Mm.
And not even because of his illness, he his grief as a husband, as a partner, that's where he is, his space.
Yeah.
Even when she was sick and we were taking care of her, he, bless his heart, he was in denial that this was happening. Even when hospice came in and it's this bed, I'm like, "Dad, you need to go in there. You need to go in the room and sit with her, and
Mhm.
because things are happening." He he said, "Oh, no, she's gonna get better. She's gonna get better." And when she did pass, he was in the back room, and I had to sit him at the table and, like, okay, compose myself and, like, tell him, like, "Hey, okay, so remember we talked about how she might not get better." I literally had to talk to him
Like a
like,
parent.
yeah, like I had to become the parent through that whole process and finding the words to say it, and he was like, "Wait, what?" He didn't understand it, and so from then on, like I've said it before, it's like I've lost both of them because he hasn't been able to, bless his heart, be a parent. He hasn't been able to step into, "Oh, yeah, shoot, my kid just lost her mom."
Yeah.
And so what also hurt is, like, I can't even fall into my dad's arms and cry like I used to when I was a little girl. And I feel like a little girl, and I can't even, plus everything that's going on with his illness, but even before it really ramped up, he wasn't available for that. My father wasn't available. Christopher, the husband, is here.
Yeah.
Rita's husband is the only one that's here. Christopher, the father, he pops in from time to time, but mm-mm,
Do you
he's
feel
not
like
here.
that has played a part? Do you feel like that's adding on to your grief that you don't have
Absolutely.
that space?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I listened to Michelle Obama's podcast. They talked about their
Mhm.
mom, and they were funny. They were funny. Um and they read a letter about a young woman whose their father passed, and she just didn't understand how death can make the family separate.
Mhm.
And I guess, and I understood her because it's like, yo, how I'm thinking we would get closer. It's just the two of us because he's always been my daddy.
Yeah.
And that guy is not here. He is husband. And does that make sense? Am I making sense? I don't.
Yeah, you make a
Okay.
lot of sense. I guess
Okay.
I'm wondering whether this is because of the dementia or if you feel like he was that way before.
Um, it I would say the dementia has progressed.
Mhm.
So that sadness and grief of that, yeah, but he was in denial when she started to get sick.
Mhm.
He just couldn't see it. And I'm like, "No, this is what's happening. She can't cook dinner anymore because this is what happens.
Mm.
And if she does, if she puts rice and peppers and dried macaroni in the rice and puts that on the she needs no."
Yeah.
And it took that to happen. I was like, "All right, you want me to cook something? Okay." It's a I had to let him, "Here you go. Let's see." I watched her and I said, "Dad, here you go. Try to eat that." And
Mhm.
okay. All right. Yes. So it took a minute. Um But that's what I felt, and I was like, I saw him, like, I took him to church, and he's just it's a terrible disease, it's awful, and so he knows who I am, like, we're not there yet,
Mhm.
but he's a widower
Yeah.
and not a father. He's not daddy anymore, and that sucks. Even during the service, like, people were, um, making sure that he was okay and uh, comforting him more than me. And I know I had to keep it together because I was the one having to answer the questions and handle the business of
Mhm.
the service and all that stuff. So I couldn't completely break down, but oh man, that man was about to pass out. People all over him. And I remember I broke down and I just like, no, nobody's I'm just kind of here.
Oh,
I'm just kind of here. Because they were just worried about him and because he literally was like about to pass out. He was that guy. And I had never seen him that way before either.
Mhm.
Like literally having to hold him up and pass, like people having to sit him down and hold him up. Like, wow. That's so all of the things, where we are now, the fact that she's not here, all of the things. And it mollywopped my ass on Sunday.
Molly Wop. Yes. You
It
know,
was like,
I yeah, yeah, yeah. I hit you.
wow.
Now I see why that my song been following you around.
Oh my God.
God said, "Okay,
Y-
she need this.
Yes.
She
That was
need this today."
Saturday.
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh my, what is this? I've never heard the song." You know, I had heard it, but when you told me
Yeah.
about it, and I'm like, "What? Now what? I've never heard this until you said something."
Yeah, it's this Kirk Franklin song called
It's
Looking for
chasing.
You. And I
Mm.
we on a previous episode we talked about how I can't listen to gospel songs because I can't make it through them without crying. And I was telling P how there's this song by Kirk Franklin that follows me around, and it has now started to follow her around.
I was like, "Girl, you won't believe what's playing at this event right now."
So all to all my people in the struggle. That's how he start the
Are
song.
you
I said, "That's
kidding
you."
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have therapy this week, praise God.
Okay, good, good, good. Perfect timing. Perfect
Yes.
timing.
And and I know the same thing like you said, it's okay. Like you're not it's okay that you have these feelings. You should have these feelings.
Yeah, but I absolutely get what you're saying. It's extremely painful, and also you're still very new in it too. You try over there trying to console your friend, which good because more people need to do who have been through it because people you don't
They're the
understand.
ones you
Somebody said to me
don't.
the other week because her father died, and she said, "I just want to apologize for everything I said to you."
Mhm.
And I was like, "I don't remember taking anything any kind of bad way." And she's like, "Well, whatever I said, I apologize because I didn't know what the hell I was talking about."
Mhm.
And she's like, "Now I know." And so good for you for talking your friend through that. And also, you still new in it. So it's
Bruh.
extremely painful.
And I get frustrated and I have to understand, like you said, the different dynamics in relationships with mothers. But I get frustrated when others don't appreciate their mom or even acknowledge. Like, just go see her. Just call because you only have one. And like your other friend, even if the dynamic is rocky or up and down or she frustrates you. Yeah, my mama got on my nerves too. And I got on hers. But we were tight. And even if you're not tight, still you only get one. And I don't care if you saw her the day before. If you can go see her on Mother's Day, go see her on Mother's Day. Just for a hot minute. But I have to that's me. I have to pull back on that because I know a lot of people, you they have their own thing going on. But it's like, I don't want you to feel worse because it's gonna hurt, but I don't want you to feel worse if something happens and you haven't given her the attention and love and support and acknowledgement that she deserves as your mom.
Yeah, family dynamics and family relationships get real sticky, get real hard.
It's sticky.
I'm thankful. I feel kind of blessed, um, to have the family dynamics that I have, because it could be a whole lot worse. It's
Mhm.
just from what I see, just even with friend situations. I'm not saying we ain't a bit dysfunctional, but but I feel you though, and I'm sending love to everybody feeling the exact same way through Mother's Day and through Father's Day, which will be coming up next month.
Yeah.
And clearly, even people that have lost spouses, that just like the space that your dad is in.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm also sorry that, you are missing pieces in your healing journey because of how her passing also has is affecting him right now. Whether it's because of the dementia or not, it at the end the bottom line is, your the normal course of action for a child losing their parent, you're not actually getting all of that you could be. And that is also disheartening. And it's like also one of those things, it's like, well, what are you gonna do? You can't do, there's like nobody left to fill roles, or so it's something now that's a part of your journey that you have to
Yeah.
learn to live with, I guess. And that's literally the most frustrating thing out of all these. It's like all this stuff that we be feeling is just got to figure out how to feel them and whatever, because it's like they don't, not gonna say they don't get better. But it's interesting because even as time goes on, stuff makes you sad now for different reasons.
Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
at first, when it first happens, it's one reason, but now it's like, oh, I'll never do this or that or whatever it may be. It's almost like time adds a different layer, and I think that's why I'm not gonna say people don't get healed, or I say time heals all wounds, but I think really what it is the dynamics change, and so now it's something else to worry about, or something else that got you feeling away versus how you was feeling like in the first year or whatever. It's like it's always something.
It's always something,
It's always
and
something.
I feel sad for him.
Yeah.
I feel really sad for him, and it also makes me think about, her, my mom. She lost her
Uh-huh.
mom when I was 12. So all of those years, we would celebrate her, but I'm in an internal struggle within her. She was missing her own mom,
Yep.
and I wanna say the last 2 years, that's who she would see when she started seeing people. It was her
Really?
mom and her sister.
Uh-huh.
Those were the first 2 people. And she said,
Mm.
"Hey, is mama here? She taking a nap, right?" "Uh, yes. She's in the guest room." I the mental gymnastics you gotta play,
Mhm.
um, but that's who she saw. And when I was talking to the doctor and said, "Hey, she's starting to say she's seeing people,"
Mhm.
and the doctor was like, "Is she afraid?" I said, "No, it's her mom and her sister." She says, "Okay, let's let it be. If she becomes fearful and combative of any way, then but if she's seeing her mom and her sister, so be it." And so that's always been there, and that it made me sadder because I was sad for her. I'm like, "Oh, yes, she was a mom and we would celebrate her." I mean, the whole thing, whole shebang. She's was missing her mama.
Mhm.
Like you said, you're a mom. You're a mom yourself and you have your kid, but you're still missing your mom. It just was a rough day. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. Um,
I'm sorry, P.
yeah. I just gotta work through it.
Mhm.
These are gonna be some weepy days, but I'll get back to it where it won't be as weepy. Um, won't cry every day, and that's all right. And then, like you said, something will happen again, and it'll pop right back. But this is where I am right now, and I just miss her.
Yeah.
I just miss her, and it's still It doesn't make sense in my mind, like
Yeah.
this timeline.
Yeah.
Like how do you just walk around life with a broken heart? How?
Uh, I don't know, but it's a hell of a lot of people doing it. And
Oh, it
so
makes yeah,
it makes make
yeah.
you think about how people like you don't know what people going through, or you don't know what people this
I
might be the day
look
they
at
snap. You know
people
what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
yeah, people
yeah.
are
I look at it's giving me a different perspective
Mhm.
on everything and how I look in the world. But we're all somehow, specifically those who've lost significant loved ones, just walking around here with a broken heart. I was like, how are we walking around with our hearts shattered?
and I always come back to my newest fascination, which is how young we feel on the inside.
Uh huh.
And so then in thinking about our parents and
Hmm.
how young and even like your dad and his reaction is because in his head he's not 70 whatever or however old he is. He's probably
Yeah.
literally like 30 in his
Yep.
mind, and his wife is gone.
Yeah. Like they
I'm
just
not even
met.
saying that makes what you're going through any better.
Yeah.
But
I get it.
like lately, that's been my fascination, and I'm literally asking everybody, "How old do you feel in your head?" Because I'm now realizing like Granny was like 97, but in her head, she was probably younger than me, and that's freaking me out. Cause like I'm out here talking to you like you my grandma, and you in your head probably dealing
Hmm.
with me like you would like you was 25 or something. And so then you think about people dealing with all these things and how old they really feel on the inside. It's not that I think it has a lot to do with it, but I think it's something that's happening that we don't see.
Yeah.
Like that's a dynamic there. Um, it has less to do with how old you physically are and how you see yourself on the inside. It's
Emotionally.
emotionally how you deal with things, like even like how we're like, "Well, how are we the adults now?" And we're in our 40s for real.
For real, for real.
And so in our head, it's like, oh, well, we must grow up. But it's like, no, these older people actually still feel the same as we feel inside. And if
Mhm.
I feel like I'm somewhere between 25 and 30 in my head, and then you talking to like a 90-year-old who feels the same,
Yeah.
but then for me lately, then that's been making certain stuff click then. Like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, we treat people a certain way because of how they're viewed or who they were to us, but of course, there's no way for us to treat them how they feel really inside. And it's so
Mhm.
interesting because how people feel inside is seems to be so completely opposite from how they're perceived on the outside. It's crazy. And so when
Yeah.
we think about our parents and then them passing, or we even think about the things that they have to go through and how resilient they are or whatever they've taught us before they pass. And then you think about she was saying and doing all this stuff when she really felt like a child herself.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That's wild. But it's like everybody's out here doing it.
All of us in different ways.
Mhm.
and some of us are handling it better,
Mhm.
than others, meaning I see why people wanna numb themselves with
Exactly.
alcohol or drugs or whatever the thing is to try to numb and block out this pain, cause it sucks, and it makes you wanna be like, "I don't wanna feel this.
Exactly.
I don't wanna feel this way."
Exactly.
But that's when
Alcohol,
for me
drugs, sex.
yeah,
Some people
sex,
even use church.
spin, church,
Anything outside of
buying
moderation is
stuff.
yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep, you're
and
right.
that's when I have to personally lean in on him more because I'm like, "Lord, I gotta keep my mind."
Mhm,
I don't fortunately, I don't have a taste for alcohol or drugs. I don't have that taste. Alcohol don't taste good to me.
mhm,
But
mhm.
if that but what is the thing that I'm doing
It's
when I'm
scary,
not
right?
sitting in it? It's scary. It
When you think
is.
uh-huh, it's scary.
And I look at those people. I look at them and like, "Yo, they did not choose this." Some people.
Mhm, yeah,
There's something in them that they're trying to numb. Some people, yes, they just tried something and they have an addictive personality, and unfortunately, that took them off on that path. But for
mhm,
others who have tried to numb stuff or who are super angry, because you could look at this and be pissed. I'm like, I'm pissed off that she's gone. And she died of an illness. Imagine if someone for their loved one was killed or
yes.
a tragic. Oh,
Yes.
oh, I'm burning everything down.
Yes.
If something were to happen, like if she were physically harmed, I'm burning it all down. And that's how people end up being angry and in jail. And again, I can't go to jail. We've already talked about this. I
You
can't go
can't
to
go to jail. You said that in the
jail.
very beginning. In the very beginning, I will not do well in jail.
I cannot go to jail, so I'd have to be a fugitive of some sort and run away. Um,
Eh,
because I can't.
Officer, I do not know where she is. She has not
I don't
contacted
know.
me.
I don't know. She may have changed her hair color, cut it off. I don't know.
Okay. Let
Yeah.
Jada set it off.
Said there it is. Exactly. Yeah, I'm just gonna
But
call you and just not say a
yeah.
word, and you're gonna
Yeah.
be like, "P?
Hear some clicking in the background.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it really doesn't take too much to see how people I don't want to say are the way they are, but that empathy that comes from there is an empathy that comes from when you lose somebody and then it's literally exactly what you laid out today. You're like I'm shattered, okay? And then you think about how many people are going through pretty much the exact same thing and everybody's walking around like that. Now things start to make a little sense. Everybody's out here on the edge and not tethered.
On
We've already
edge.
talked about that. Like just literally just
Mhm.
out here flying by the seat of their pants, trying to get back grounded.
Just 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 floaters just bumping into each other.
Just like bumper cars, like, who send help?
Macy's Day Macy's Day Parade floats just bumping, bop. Snoopy just bop, bop, bop,
But I
bop.
got that visual though when you said it. It was I immediately got it.
Yeah. We gotta put a picture up of it was one big expensive float I think they let go of one year. The wind just blew that sucker away.
Oh
It was
man.
blocks away. It would look rough, bless his heart. But that's yeah, just out up here, just a big old float just floating in the sky, just trying to figure it out. And God bless you, you have a child to take care of. You have a child to raise and take care of. Well, yes, I'm taking care of my father. He's a grown man. He has his own challenges. He's my teenager. He's in the dementia phase where he's a teenager. So that's what I'm dealing with. A
And it's
teenage
hard.
boy.
It is
Oh,
hard dealing with an adult with
oh,
dementia. Like people do not be talking. People just be like, "Oh, natural circle of life." No,
mm-mm,
That
Mm-mm.
shit is hard, and
Mm-mm.
sometimes it ain't safe for you.
Mm-mm. He's a teenager. He's a teenage boy
He's
and
rebelling.
rebelling
Yeah.
teenage boy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, if I could yoke you up,
Yeah.
but I can't because you're my
Yeah.
dad.
'Cause you still a grown man
You're still a
versus
grown
me.
man.
So, yeah, yeah, but
You're not my child. But yeah, all of that. That's what I'm dealing with. And whew,
it's hard, Pete, and you're
ooh,
doing it all at the same time. Like, this is just your second Mother's Day without your mom, but you're literally like deep in the weeds with your dad's progression from like last Mother's Day to this Mother's Day. It's a
yes.
whole lot. And everybody's dealing with everything, you know?
Yeah, all the things.
But the timing of it too makes it something else with you. So, like you said before, round 2,
Round 2.
it's really tough things that you're dealing with, and it just sucks when you can't really, especially like and then dementia's progressive, and then when somebody died, like it's not like they coming back. So it's like the resolution is not what we would want it to be. No
Mm-mm.
cure,
Mm-mm.
no take backsies. So
Mm-mm.
it's like it's nothing that we can even say to you to feel like it makes it better. And I hate that, and I'm sorry.
Just day by day. Thank you, friend.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But take it day by day. Try to enjoy the joyful moments, joyous moments. Take a break when I can.
Mhm.
Acknowledge that. No, you need a break. Or be like, I'm not dealing with that today. I'm
Right.
not gonna deal with that today. Mm-mm. Nope.
Right.
Capacity has been reached. Nope. Not dealing with that today. Whew.
Because you'll drive yourself into the ground.
Yeah.
And with dementia, there's like no insight. So he can't even tell you, he can't even help you by saying, okay,
Mm-mm.
you reached your, even like you said, as the parent. So it's like now you have to just come in. Because what it's going to look like is it's not even going to look like, oh, this is a thing that I can do. Let me stop here. My boundary is here. It's like, it ain't really going to go like that. It ain't going to follow no plan. It's just like one day you just going to have to be like, and no. Like,
And
and
scene.
cut. Yes, yes, yes. Like, no gentle trend, no fade in, fade out, just,
Mm-mm.
and that's what it's going to be today. And then we'll hop back on the horse tomorrow. It's,
You're safe. I'm locking the
mm-hmm.
doors. The alarm is
Yes.
on. That's it. I need to go lay
So,
down.
see you tomorrow. Because if
We'll
you want to
try
want
again
to
tomorrow.
it's almost like, how sometimes you're like, oh, let me find a stopping point
Mm-mm.
before no, ain't gonna be no stopping point, is what it's gonna look like. No transition. Just, so sometimes you just gonna have to cut it off. And that's not even dealing just with your dad, just with everything. You
Yeah.
at a capacity, your capacity is to the top of your head right now. You know how they got the brain, like you see the man with his brain, and I'm making stuff up now, but I
Okay.
just see
All
something in my
right.
head. Okay. Your picture
You
is
see it.
full. Your glass is full. No
It is
more.
full.
It's full.
It is
So
full indeed.
sorry to
And
anything else that come around right now. Glass
ooh,
is full.
boy. Yeah. Ah, yeah. I'm trying to
Molly
make
Wop.
it.
That was good. I love a
It
good.
molly whopped my
Yeah.
ass and continues to, it's just like pop, 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 pop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike Tyson, right hook, left hook, body shot, body shot, body shot, body shot, body shot.
Ah, bite your ear.
That's what it
Ah,
feels. Yeah, all that.
all
That's
that.
exactly. And the whole time I'm like, Jesus,
Yeah.
please,
You like tap out. Tap
God, help me.
out.
What are we doing? I think I sent it to you on Instagram. That guy was like, "Yo,
Yeah,
walk with
Corey.
the Lord." Oh my God, it was so funny. Please, if
And
y'all go
accurate.
on Instagram, what is
We'll
his
put it in the show
Instagram
notes.
handle? We'll put it in
His
the show notes. But
Corey, I think his last name is Arvinger. He was the The CEO of
My
Support
God.
Black College. Support Black
When
College.
y'all see it, it's so funny. He's like, "My walk with God, Jesus is my friend. I'm gonna make it. He has everything." Ah! And it just cuts to him just
Yes.
screaming, and then he comes back in, "Yes, God, I am so grateful for your love and support." Ah! And each time the scream the scream got worse and worse, and he just come back in and, "Father God, I just
It's
wanna
so
give you
accurate.
praise. You're such amazing. I'm so grateful for my life. You've given me breath. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
That's how I feel. Like, thank you, Jesus. I'm so grateful for the things that you've done for me. But my God, today,
yes.
I feel better
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. It's
Yep. So
it was
that's
perfect. It's perfect. It's real life footage.
it's real life footage.
Real
It's real
life
life
footage.
footage with your walk with God. And I don't know how folks are doing it out here without him. Because my God, today, that's the only thing that's keeping me.
I'll be honest with you, P.
What's up?
Never mind.
Girl, it's your truth. It's your truth.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
my truth, so
So
whatever you say ain't gonna bother
I
me.
can't remember the last time we talked about praying on here,
Mhm.
but I haven't prayed since then
Okay.
because, and I'm a prayer.
Yeah.
I pray for like 30 minutes in the morning. I go sit down in my space in front of the window and I pray.
Mhm.
But something started happening to me because I'm a believer wholeheartedly. So when things don't happen, and I've been
Mhm.
praying, 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 praying. And it's like, I believe, okay, ask, was it? Ask, believe, receive, whatever is what I
Mhm.
believe.
Mhm. Yeah.
So when I'm praying and nothing is coming to pass, and I'm talking about for a long time. I'm not talking about I prayed last night and this didn't happen this week.
Yeah.
It,
Excuse
it messes with me mentally
me.
because then I'm like, I'm doing something wrong or not doing something the right way or whatever the case.
Mhm.
Because I know if I'm praying, like this is what I know. So then why is when it's not happening, like I fully, because they be like, oh, well, you just don't believe. You have to believe it. But I believe it so much that it's like, if it's been a year, okay, then
Yeah.
what the fuck? I did something wrong here because what I believe is that this is what will come to pass as long as I believe. But I believe so much that it sends me into depressive episodes when
Mhm.
it's like, no, I've been praying, and I'm not talking even about like health stuff or stuff like that because
Sure.
on the other hand, to me, that kind of stuff is like, did y'all forget it's God's will though? Because it's like prayer works until it's God's will that something else happens. And we just see that very easily with just like people passing away, you know?
Mhm.
And then how people like, I prayed, so it's handled. It's
Mhm.
not, no, because if that's not God's will, what God wants is what's going to be done. So then I got to the point, I was like, well, let me just let God have it then. Because I be burning myself by being so into it. I'm like, nah, me and God like this. We locked in. Boom, bop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then and more time going, like, are we not locked in? Are we not? Did you not? Yeah, I know you heard me, but what? And so I just believe so strongly that when stuff don't happen, I get depressed out of the wazoo. And I'm saying praying for like years on stuff, kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so maybe a couple months ago, 2, 3 months ago, I said, I'm just stop praying. See what happens. Most I say is thank you.
Oh.
When I tell you my mental, I was down bad, P.
Yeah.
And it was because it's like, why am I not like I'm praying, I'm doing anything that I can, right?
Mhm.
Nada. But I believe there are some parts in your life that are, I think some stuff you just can't pray yourself around. Like, I just feel like there's some stuff that is set that you need to go through. And so when those things happen, I'm like, the best thing I can do is surrender, right? We talked about surrender before. Like,
Mhm,
just God's will is clearly not my will. So I'm like,
mhm.
I'm gonna just let him have it. And then of course, I started reading and stuff. That's my little escapism.
Yeah.
And I have felt so much better. And things have been going so much better. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I was putting too much pressure. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I was like, I need a break. Y'all know my heart, right? God knows my heart. I will still talk and I'll be like, thank you. But it's like when I go deeper into that, I start to go out the deep end and I'm over here like a crazy person. Like,
Yeah, pull it back.
if it don't,
Or or
come to pass, I lose
or
it.
when you
And I was tired of
approach
losing it.
him, have
Mhm.
you asked in a different way? Be like, "Okay, God, so the way I asked for it, clearly
Mhm.
that's not like you said, did you hear me?
Yeah.
And I wanna acknowledge your thank you is a prayer."
I know, and that's why I say that's the
So y
most that I do right now.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I've done it all, P. I've gotten so specific because some people be like, "Oh, you need to get very, very specific as to what you asking God for." So I've done that. Then I've
yeah.
pulled back and I've gotten just broadly. And then I'm big on the hey alignment. God, Lord, just align me with in my life. I can't speak to nobody else's.
Yeah.
My life is such people would not believe the things that be going on. Like, it's a movie, right? Over here. And realize it ain't a movie for everybody. You got things you gotta go through, but it ain't a whole movie, right? Or maybe it happens at different points in time. In my life, a lot of this movie type stuff, P, has happened
Mhm.
in the same time frame. Like what you go, like all, like it's like year, like years and years and years and years and
Compounded.
years of hard. Exact
Yeah.
compound. Thank you. You always give me my words. Thank you. I'm not joking. I love that because I be, me and my brain, we just be going, but that's the word. So I've tried it all, and I've just come to realize that I'm a person that is like, clearly I can't see what God got for me, and that's I had to be okay. I'm okay with the unknown. At least at certain times of your life, I'm not going to say that prayer is inconsequential, and I don't know that it's the same for everybody.
Mhm.
I've just come to the realization in my life that it's some stuff you just can't get around that God has for you that you have to go through. And
Yeah.
um for me, it's been again, like you said, compounding year after year after year after year. So after like year 4 or 5, I'm like, okay,
Your
I'm
face right
here.
now.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm here, God, and I just show up every day and you just tell me which way to go, what to do because everything that I have come up with uh uh doesn't work. And then when stuff go bad, it gets bad. Like people be complaining about stuff and oh my God, I'm just really I'm trying to work on myself and not try not to judge people because sometimes in my head I'm like, if you was going through what I'm going through,
Yeah.
you you couldn't.
And it's subjective because there are moments when you hear people's story and you're like, "Damn, let me shut up," because that's not and
Somebody
but
always got it worse than you, for sure.
yeah, but it's still your world. So in your
Yes.
world, it's a big deal.
Yep.
Um,
I'm the protagonist. So,
and you're doing your best. You're in that, like you said, the surrender. But just that thank you and I'm grateful all the time. I'm like, Lord, thank you. Just walking. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
best I
That's
got.
it. That's all. Thank you.
But when I
Because,
tell you that helped my mental though, P,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm sure that's also teaching me something. So when I get back into my regular habit, my regular practice, I'll maybe be able to, like you said, even try something even a little bit differently. It that hasn't come to me quite yet because I feel like I've tried everything, but I also know that that can't be the truth. So, when I get back around to it, maybe I'll be able to do it at a or the timing will be right. That's that divine
Timing.
timing that we have no idea of what is.
Divine
And for
timing.
some reason, people think Shonda can do this year after year after year. And I'm over here like, God, I do think I've reached.
I
And I know you
believe.
heard me because sometimes I say stuff and it pop off immediately. So then it's
Yeah.
like, so why? Then it's like, okay, clearly because it wasn't supposed to, you know? And so then you get in that, okay, so that's that God's will question, you know what I mean? So it's like we don't know when stuff is his will or isn't until we try it or we ask for it or whatever. Then we wait for the answer. Okay, we don't receive the answer. That's cool. I understand. But if your will is for me to suffer, Lord,
Mm.
I just want to say, like, is there possibly a different way to suffer? You
Is
know,
there
stuff like
another
that. You
way? Can we
know,
check in on that?
just
I ask,
yeah.
what is the lesson here? I have
Hmm.
to sit when I sit back and I'm like, well, what is the lesson? What am I supposed to learn?
Hmm.
What is this? What am I supposed to learn in this?
And then
And
do you feel like you get an answer straight away?
mm,
Not straight away,
no,
but do you feel like you get an answer?
sometimes, yes, yes, sometimes.
Okay.
Like when speaking to the young lady who lost her mom, she needed someone at that time because there was no one around her in her circle who had.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, okay, God, I guess that's what this is supposed to be for. Or this voice, or people prophesy to me that I'm supposed to be speaking to people.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I guess I got to go through things to be able to talk about it, I
That's what they
suppose.
say.
That's what they say. Cause I mean,
What
what
they
would you
say.
talk about if nothing is going on? I don't know. But man, oh, so we both are just going to, in our own way, you're just going to say, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to keep talking to him and be like, okay, today, I just want to thank you for waking me up. Let me handle what I could handle today.
Mhm. And what I
Try
will
again.
say though, P, is there are some people who, I think it could be all of us. Just depends on the day and time. But I remember my friend was going through some crazy heavy stuff, and she was standing in my driveway, and I was trying to, speak into her, and she was like, "I'm not feeling that today.
Yeah.
Don't whatever you got to say. I don't want to hear it." And
I
she
don't
was
want to
like,
hear it.
"I just need you to stand in the gap for me because I can't do it right now. I can't even talk to God right now because He's not listening, and I'm upset." And then it was scaring her that she was upset. Like she was like, I can't do it. I need somebody to stand in the gap for me.
Mhm.
So then I came inside and sat in my area and I prayed and did what I do to just try to do that for her because she couldn't. And then lo and behold, here I come. Girl, ring her up. Girl, hey girl. And now
Hey,
it's time for you to stand in the gap for your girl because
we
I
return the
done.
favor.
Yeah, I'm done. I've cussed enough at God. Remember, because I went from here to here to here, and I was like, I think I
Uh-huh.
need a break. I think I need a break. But sometimes, sometimes other people can step in there for you. You know what I mean? Maybe sometimes we too close. Little prayer circle, little prayer circle.
The press
But
circle.
I'm gonna thank you. That's my prayer right now, and it's been doing good. It's been doing good for me,
Good job. If you're feeling
better than
better,
before. Yeah,
that's it. That's where you are.
I
You
gotta
still
let go.
acknowledging him.
Yeah, I gotta for me right now at this point in my life, I have to let go of whatever it is. Everything I'm thinking is not what God is thinking for me. So I just had to let go of all that, and I just got to show up. I just got to show up every day.
Mhm.
That's it. And I just feel like He'll let me know. He'll put it in front of me because I was not getting it. So at the very least, I'm feeling better mentally.
Amen.
Now that's on today.
That's what we'll take it.
Next
We'll
week,
take it. We'll take it
who knows?
today.
Yeah,
We're gonna take it today.
take it today.
That's what I'm gonna deal with today as well. And we'll
Yeah,
deal with tomorrow.
yes.
It
One
is
day at a
so.
time.
One day at a time. You
Mm-mm.
can reach me on Instagram at better3701.
And I'm on Instagram and Threads at Hey Shonda Head. The podcast is also on Instagram at The Everything Has Changed Podcast. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Want to stay locked in with us so you never miss an episode? Visit everythinghaschangedpodcast.com and join our email list. That way you'll be the first to know about new episodes and all the fun stuff we have coming your way. Meet us over there.